Neres, the youngest daughter of the Tapana family, was constantly bullied by her parents and older sister since childhood. One day, her father demanded that she marry the ghost duke in her sister's place. So, she traveled a long distance and finally arrived at the duke's territory. To her surprise, the one who greeted her was her sister, Catherine. "I've changed my mind. I'm going to marry the duke." Her sister had actually taken an interest in this political marriage. "This is really infuriating. Neres, you will be engaged to Duke Dayfried in your sister's place." "Huh?" Neres questioned. "For someone like you," Earl Tapana said impatiently, "the position of Duchess is too extravagant. The kingdom is now mired in war. Getting married as soon as possible is the best course of action. Go. Don't do anything foolish. Act rationally." "Wait, father. Isn't that engagement for my sister, Catherine?" Neres asked. I've just come of age. I'm supposed to go to the academy soon." "You agreed to this, father." Hearing this, Earl Tapana shot to his feet, slammed the table, and shouted, "Ha! So noisy. Still thinking about the academy during a war? Do you have any idea how rare an engagement like this is in wartime? And it's with the Duke, no less. For someone like you, who only brings contempt and wastes food for such an opportunity to come knocking, you should know what a great blessing this is." Facing Earl Tapana's roar, Neres shrank back. "The reason I agreed to let you go to the academy in the first place was because I had hoped you could contribute to the family business. Now that business has to be abandoned. Listen carefully, Neres. Our family situation is very difficult lately. The Duke, who knows of our recent situation, was the one who proposed the marriage. He won't take any dowry at all. Instead, he has promised us a large sum of business support funds. How could we miss such a golden opportunity? Of course, as you said, this marriage was indeed for Catherine, but the North is too barren. We can't send your sister there. Do you want your frail sister to go to a place like that? Besides, isn't this marriage a good thing for you too? You, the burden of this family, can finally become a help. So stop nagging. Just quietly prepare to go to the North." After walking out the door, Neres struggled to keep herself from collapsing. She overheard the maids whispering, "Oh my goodness, it seems the marriage really went to Miss Neres. After all, the rumors about that man are so unsettling. This outcome isn't surprising. Who is it? Who else could it be? Isn't it that notorious ghost, Duke Dayfried? They say he rarely attends social gatherings. Even when he does, he always wears a strange mask. No noble knows what he looks like. It's said he always gives off a fearsome aura. Everyone is busy avoiding him. Not only that, his relationship with His Majesty the King is truly terrible. It's rumored the king sent him to the front lines of the war just to get rid of him. To be married into a family like that. Poor Miss Neres. Don't say that. It's none of our business anyway." After returning to her room, Neres grabbed a maid and asked loudly, "WH, what are you doing? Where are you taking my things?" The maid shook off her hand impatiently. "The master said the young lady is to leave for the Northern Territory at dawn tomorrow, so he told us to pack your luggage in advance." How can it be so soon?" Neres was full of disbelief. "I just heard about the engagement." Wait a minute. Stop. I'll talk to father again." "Neres, why are you crying and speaking so loudly?" Catherine asked, feigning confusion. "Sister Catherine." Neres sobbed. "Remember," Catherine said as she wiped away her tears, "as a lady, you must show your poise and elegance anytime, anywhere. You should be a model of nobility." "You all may leave for a moment," Catherine ordered. "But my lady," the maid said in a trembling voice, "packing the luggage will still take some time. Can't you hear me? I already said, get out," Catherine said impatiently. "Why, yes, my lady." The maids fled in disarray. "TSK, why do I have to say it twice for them to understand? Come, sit here. You're not usually like this. Why are you suddenly making such a fuss?" Catherine asked. "I really don't understand why I have to be the one engaged," Neres said. "Duke Dayfried, didn't he discuss the marriage with you, sister?" "Sister, can't you go and persuade father?" "Neres, are you asking me to go?" Catherine's expression suddenly changed as she asked sinisterly, "Listen here. You know I'm going to be the flower of the capital's social circle. Someone of my status going to that countryside in the North? It's just too unsuitable. Do you think that makes any sense?" "But, sister, wasn't it decided that I would go to the academy?" Neres' voice trembled even more. "I know. Doesn't the North have an academy too?" Catherine said, grabbing Neres' hand. "But there's no magic department there," Neres retorted. "Who do you think you are?" Catherine scolded. "Talking about going to the magic department. Please, face reality. How can a useless person like you learn magic? That's why you've been given the amazing position of Duchess. Isn't this a great thing? Otherwise, just try to please the Duke. Who knows? Maybe if the Duke takes a liking to you, He'll send you to the academy in the capital. It might be a bit difficult for you, though, because you're so useless. Just give it a try. Sobi. After Catherine left, Neres could no longer hold back her emotions and burst into tears. A week later, Neres sighed, sitting in the carriage. I didn't expect it to be a whole week's ride. The north is so far. No, Neres, don't think about bad things. Anyway, I've arrived at the ducal estate. This is a great chance for a fresh start. This engagement may not be what I wanted, but I will not run away. My family who looked down on and mocked me. This is the perfect opportunity to get away from them. It's not too late to start changing now. Neres picked up her luggage and walked in with great determination, casting aside the self that was once ignored like a fool. But she never expected to see someone so unexpected here. Wow, so beautiful. I didn't think there were such beautiful flowers in the north. Oh, you're finally here. You're so late. Neres, Sister Catherine, Neres cried out. Sister, what are you doing here? The long journey must have been tiring. Come, sit here and rest. Catherine said considerately. This will be the room you'll be staying in for now. You can't wander around this place at night. Be careful. Isn't this room beautiful? It's even better than I imagined. Even I'm surprised, Catherine said to herself. Sister, what are you doing here? Neres finally couldn't help but ask. What am I doing here? Catherine retorted. Introducing this magnificent ducal estate, of course. And magnificent, Neres continued to ask. Sister, didn't you complain before that the north was too rustic? Why are you suddenly praising this place? I've changed my mind, Catherine said. I'm going to be engaged to Duke Dayfried. So give the position of fiancé back to me, Neres. Hearing this, Neres stammered, the engagement isn't a joke. In times of war, an engagement is recognized because it is written on paper imbued with magic. It's an unalterable marriage contract, and my name is already written on that contract. So this engagement cannot be canceled. Let me show you something special. You just shut up and watch carefully, Catherine said. Hello, I am Catherine Topana, who is to be wed to Duke Ian Dayfried. Have you received the marriage contract? Really? The contract has my younger sister Neres' name on it? It seems this was a mistake father made while drunk. As the eldest daughter of the house of Earl Topana, I deeply apologize. Also, my sister Neres will be arriving soon. In the midst of war, learning of her sister's engagement has made her extremely anxious. Please do not worry. Neres will be returning home in 2 days. I already explained everything clearly to the butler yesterday, so you should cooperate with me. Help me out. Hearing this, Neres shot to her feet. Do you think the ducal house will believe such a ridiculous story? If you do this, our family will become the laughingstock of the social world. The ducal house will absolutely not dissolve the engagement for such an absurd reason, and I will not let our family become a joke. Neres tried to leave, but was blocked by Catherine. In the beginning, you also said you didn't like this engagement, sister. That's why, Catherine said through gritted teeth. I asked for your help, didn't I? Who do you think I went through all this trouble for? I wish I could turn back time, but what can I do? I can only seize the present moment. Stop with the nonsense and help me. That was originally my position. Seeing Catherine's ferocious expression, Neres couldn't help but ask, Sister, what happened? Why have you suddenly become like this? Sorry, I was also startled by the situation. Catherine didn't answer, but gave Neres a hard shove. But Neres, listen to me. This is for the best for everyone. Regarding this matter and your admission to the academy, I've already received Father's full permission, so you just need to go home. Or is it that you've become ambitious for the position of Duchess? I trust that's not the case. My sister Neres trembled all over. I just can't accept it. I thought it was all over. Even after leaving home, my family still won't let me go. Can I never escape my family? I don't know. I don't want to think about it anymore. I'm just too tired right now. Meanwhile, you've worked hard today as well, Your Grace. Did something happen, Norman? Ian asked. Norman replied, there's been an issue with the marriage contract with the house of Earl Topana. It said they wrote the wrong fiancé's name. The fiancé, Neres Topana. This contract was a mistake made while drunk. The eldest daughter was originally the one who agreed to the marriage. I don't care who it is. What a pathetic family. As he was muttering, there was a sudden knock on the door. What is it? That doesn't sound like Norman's knock. No other servant should be wandering around at this hour. Ian was somewhat displeased. Could it be those young ladies from the house of Earl Topana? Norman should have told them clearly not to wander around the ducal estate at night. This family's etiquette training is simply atrocious. Should I see them? The face of a descendant from a pathetic family. What are you doing over there? Ian asked. Seeing no reaction from the other person, Ian called out again, "Hey." Still no response. Her condition seems a bit unusual. Ian scratched his head. "What are you doing?" he said, turning Neres's head towards him. Is she sleepwalking? Did she climb to the 4th floor in her sleep? To have made it here safely is quite impressive. It seems getting back to her room will be a problem. No choice, then. Pardon the intrusion. Ian scooped her up in his arms. MMPH, Neres struggled. "I'm taking you back to your room." "Don't move," Ian said. "Okay," Neres replied stiffly. Seeing this, Ian couldn't help but laugh. "You're Neres?" "Yes," Neres replied stiffly again. "To get a response from you even in your sleep, I'm truly honored. Are you my fiancé?" "Yes." "Your sister said this engagement was a mistake," Ian asked again. This time, Neres didn't answer. Ian found this interesting. "So you don't answer tricky questions?" Neres replied stiffly again. "Quite clever," Ian couldn't help but praise. "Good night, Neres." The next day, Neres opened her eyes. Looking at the unfamiliar surroundings, she wondered, "Where is this?" But thankfully, she quickly remembered. "Right, I arrived at the ducal estate yesterday, and I saw my sister." What's the reason for sister's sudden change of heart? She was so against coming to the north. "No, whatever the reason, I'm not going home." "Absolutely not." Neres made up her mind. "Absolutely not. I understood on the day I left home. As long as I belong to the house of Earl Tapana, my entire life will be controlled by my family beyond my own control. I will be a tool that could be discarded at any moment and live my whole life like that. That's absolutely not happening. I don't care what happens with the engagement. This time, I will not act according to my family's wishes. Absolutely not." A moment later, when Neres arrived at the dining hall, she was met with Catherine's mockery. "You're late, Neres. Even if the long journey has exhausted you, you mustn't forget your manners. This is not our home. It is the castle of my fiancé, His Grace Duke Dayfried. From now on, you must observe the breakfast time. Oh well, you're leaving tomorrow anyway. It's such a shame I can't spend more time with you in the north. You should prepare well for your academy admission when you get back." "No," Neres interrupted her. "I plan to enroll in the Northern Academy." "Sister, didn't you tell me about the Northern Academy before?" So I took the liberty of looking into it. The academy in the north has indeed produced many renowned scholars. Knowing that such a place is nearby, I've come to a realization. I really want to study in this excellent place. Neres said with a smile. "I'll be staying here for much longer. So there's no need for you to be so regretful, sister." Hearing these words, Catherine was about to explode with anger. Suppressing her rage, she asked in a trembling voice, "Weren't you very interested in magic studies before? That's why you always wanted to go to the academy in the capital, right? That's why I went through the trouble of persuading father. Is your passion for magic studies really so shallow? Don't back down. I expected this. Say it bravely." Neres encouraged herself. "My thoughts, my position, my passion for magic studies will never be extinguished," Neres began. "So I want to use this opportunity to learn all sorts of things. The Northern Academy has many subjects I like. Sister, the North is a really wonderful place, isn't it? What on earth has gotten into you since a moment ago?" Catherine couldn't take it anymore and shot to her feet, gritting her teeth. "You are absolutely right," Norman said as he walked in. "Oh, my apologies for interrupting you while you were speaking. My name is Norman, the butler here." Listening to Miss Topana's words, a sense of pride for the North has quietly swelled within me. I would be most grateful if you could understand with a generous heart. "It's all right, Mr. Butler," Neres said with a smile. "Miss Topana, please feel free to just call me Norman." Norman also returned the smile. "All right, then please be at ease as well, Norman." Hearing their conversation, Catherine couldn't help but feel a little scared. What is going on? That child who was always so timid. How did she suddenly become like this? Why is that butler being so friendly to Neres? If this continues, Neres will take everything again. No, this time it's my turn. This is my position. It won't be tragically snatched away like before. Catherine fell into a memory. Catherine Tapana. Even my name is flawless. I possess a magic that makes everyone fall for me. People like to call me the lovely flower bud, Miss Tapana. But the title of Miss Tapana was not mine alone. Neres Tapana, my younger sister, just like me, was also called Miss Tapana. The moment she was born, I understood. This girl is more terrifying than ghosts and magical beasts. Did you think I didn't know? You were born to take my things. Away from me. I will never let you take them. Absolutely not. Poetry recitation contest, best performer, Catherine Topana. Looking at this report card, father was exceptionally happy. Haha, Catherine, you're truly outstanding. I work my hardest for our family. How can you be so sensible? How can I not give a gift to such a well-behaved eldest daughter? Here, this is a magical tool imbued with special power. When you encounter danger, it will protect you. So keep it with you always. Wow, thank you, father. Our eldest daughter can already help her father. How gratifying, father said, glancing displeasedly at Neres. In comparison, Neres, you have nothing. That. Neres hesitated. This time, on a math test, I got a perfect score. As soon as the words left her mouth, I interrupted her. Father, I'd like to participate in the Capitol's flower arrangement competition this time. May I? Oh, father's attention was quickly diverted. Of course, you can. If you win first place there, everyone will admire you when you make your debut in the social circle. As expected, our eldest daughter's vision is extraordinary. What are you looking at so foolishly? I snatched the test paper from Neres' hand. A perfect score on a math test. Haha, you want praise for this? How pathetic. Sister, please give it back. Let me give you a special piece of advice, my dear sister. So what if you get first place in something like this? You will always be a useless person, I said, tearing the test paper to shreds. You must remember this advice. Understand? See how amazing I am. A person like you will never get your hands on what is meant for me. I'll make you understand this even more clearly. Just you wait and see. But contrary to my determination at the time, everything I had was ultimately taken away by Neres. My misfortune began with the engagement to Duke Dayfried. The intended fiancée was me, Catherine Topana. His sudden proposal truly left me speechless. As a mature lady, I was a well-known figure in the capital's social circle. How could someone like me marry the ghost duke, who is surrounded by strange rumors? This is too absurd. I heard he offended the king and was sent to the front lines. To appease the king's anger, he's seeking a marriage alliance with a noble family from the capital and plans to prove his worth on the battlefield. Catherine, what are your thoughts on this? As your father, I'm in a really difficult position. Yes, considering the duke's wealth, it would be a pity to refuse. We can't miss out on this huge sum of money that's within reach. But I can't just get engaged like this. What should I do? Oh, that's right. I'll just have Neres get engaged to him. My poor little sister who always loses to me. I'll take this opportunity to get rid of that annoying child for good. Besides, Duke Dayfried will likely perish in this war with the Western Kingdom. I heard he suffered a fatal wound in the last battle and is on the verge of death. Then we must get our hands on his fortune before the Duke dies. As soon as the Duke returns, we'll force him to sign the marriage contract. That way, if the Duke dies, Neres, as his wife, will have the right of inheritance. As long as we can control her properly, all of the Duke's assets can become our family's. This is an opportunity. So, I proposed to father. Father, have Neres get engaged to him. What? With that troublesome fellow? Father frowned. Yes, it will be beneficial for our family in the long run. Trust me, just do as I say. Give it a try. The engagement and Neres have both been taken care of. Now, there are no more obstacles in my life. From now on, my future will be filled with only brilliant light. However, that decision became the biggest mistake of my life. We have won the war. Long live the Gideon Kingdom. The merits of Duke Ian Dayfried, who achieved victory in the war, were highly praised. The Empire awards him its first Hero's Medal. With our kingdom's transformation into an empire, Duke Dayfried and His Majesty have expressed, I hope to maintain a good relationship. Then we'll be able to see the Duke and Duchess often in high society. That's wonderful, Miss Topana, because good things always happen to the sister of the Duchess of Dayfried. Yes, I'm also very happy. His Grace, Duke Ian Dayfried, and Duchess Neres Dayfried. This can't be. I still can't believe it. That those two are actually Duke Dayfried and Neres. My goodness, is the Duke completely different from the rumors? He truly has a charming, sculpted appearance. The Duchess is also stunningly beautiful, poised, and full of noble grace. They really are the center of attention at this ball. The praises from everyone around me are grating. This was all supposed to be mine, the most perfect man in the world, and the position envied and desired by all. It was all mine. I am the true owner. Neres stole everything from me. Just like that, Neres took everything from me. I fell into deep despair. I repeatedly relived the shock of that day, living each day in a drunken stupor. I gradually degenerated into a wreck. My father, unable to watch any longer, went behind my back and accepted from the old Marquis of the West a large sum of money to marry me off. By the time I realized what was happening, everything was already set in stone. I sank into the mire of despair once again. If this continues, I'm afraid I'll be manipulated by that cunning person for the rest of my life. I must escape. Neres. This is all that devilish girl's fault. It's all because of my greedy sister that my life is in such ruins. I absolutely cannot let her get away with this. What is this situation? Did I just die like this? No, I don't want this ending. Can someone give me a chance? Give me a chance to take back from my terrible sister what is rightfully mine. Just give me one more chance. End of flashback. Catherine bit her lip tightly. That arrogant brat. She stole my things in our past life, and now she dares to defy me. It's strange. She wasn't this arrogant and rude before. Why the sudden change? Could it be that she has realized I've been reborn? Huh, how is that possible? That slow-witted girl. How could she possibly know my secret? She's just a little different than usual. I was reborn thanks to the blessing of this charming magical item. So I have an advantage over Neres. That fact won't change. This time I must have it. Everything belongs to me. I absolutely cannot let Neres take it away. So tiring. Neres sat on the bed and sighed. I didn't expect lunch to be so draining. It must be because it was the first time I've defied my sister. This isn't good. I still have to face my sister until His Grace the Duke returns. Can I last until then? Miss Neres, I'm Emma. A voice came from outside the door. I'm here to deliver a message from Miss Catherine. My sister? Neres was startled. Could it be about what happened at lunch? Is she going to get angry again? What did my sister say? Neres opened the door and asked. It's all written in this letter. You could just give me a reply after you've read it. Emma said, what could be so important that she had to write a letter? Neres reached out for the letter. To my dear sister. Neres, at lunch today, I noticed your table manners and social etiquette were a complete mess. To guide you on these shortcomings, you must have breakfast with me tomorrow. Teaching you now is so that I won't be so embarrassed when you meet my fiancé, His Grace the Duke, in the future, right? So for tomorrow's breakfast, you must come. Your concerned sister. Neres looked at the contents, her hands starting to tremble uncontrollably. Just because I talked back a little today, is my sister starting this again? Honestly, my sister has always been like this. Ever since we were little, if I disobeyed her even slightly, she would immediately tattle to our parents and get me scolded. She would insist on taking me to parties, deliberately making me look like a fool and a laughingstock for everyone. In the end, I couldn't stand it anymore. I always had to apologize to my sister, even when I hadn't done anything wrong. I always thought it was because I was too incompetent. Looking back, I realized it was all my sister's schemes. Even so, this isn't our home, after all. I thought my sister wouldn't bully me anymore. I was so naive, but I will never endure it like before. Absolutely not. Emma, I will definitely attend breakfast tomorrow, Neres said. Please help me tell my sister that I'm very much looking forward to tomorrow. Just say that I'm delighted to be able to personally receive my sister's etiquette lessons. It seems the relationship between the Mrs. Tapana is not very good, Norman reported. In the master's absence, the two sisters are at each other's throats in the castle. They're truly showing all sorts of pathetic behavior. His tone was full of mockery. Although what I'm about to say may be presumptuous, Your Grace, Norman continued, the second daughter of the Tapana family seems very pleased with our domain. Not only that, she also plans to take the entrance exam for Carly. I hear she's also very interested in magic studies. When you officially return in the future, perhaps you could meet the second daughter. Norman. Ian was somewhat reluctant about the engagement from the start. It was arranged only out of necessity. It has no other meaning, so you shouldn't place too much hope in this engagement either. I will keep that in mind, Your Grace the Duke. In the middle of the night, Ian heard that familiar voice again. This voice in yesterday, perhaps it really is you. Neres, I suspected it might be you, and it really is. Today, you came here in your sleep again. Does staying here mean this will keep happening? That would be a bit troublesome. Never mind. I'll take her to the room first and think about it later. Placing Neres on the bed, Ian felt a little relieved. She didn't wake up halfway today either. That's great. Well, a little girl who needs to be carefully looked after. If this situation continues, it will be awkward for both of us. Before I return to the battlefield, I must tell Norman. Just as he was about to leave, Ian's hand was suddenly grabbed. He was startled. What's going on? Could she be awake? No, she's not. She grabbed me while sleepwalking. That really gave me a scare. Wait a minute. I was just lucky when I brought her back to the room. If I touch her now, can I guarantee she won't wake up? If she wakes up, I'll have to explain my situation to her. In that case, it would be awkward for both of us. I'd better wait. Thinking this, Ian sat down. She might sleepwalk again in a bit. If she doesn't sleepwalk and just wakes up in the morning, then I'll just disappear before she does. She'll probably think it was a dream. Neres suddenly started talking, her tone full of pleading. I don't want to. Don't do this. I'm begging you, please. I was wrong. Please forgive me. Sister, I'm sorry. I was wrong, sister. Why is she begging like this? Could it be because of the argument during the day that Norman mentioned? I thought it was just a common sisterly squabble, Ian thought. Neres' pleading voice continued. Sister, I was wrong. Calm down, Neres. Ian held Neres' hand. It's just me here now. You don't have to apologize. Rest assured, you haven't done anything wrong. So don't be afraid. Sleep peacefully, Neres. The next day, Ian returned to the battlefield. Welcome back, Commander. Hartman said. Hartman, what was the enemy situation last night? Ian asked. There was no particular movement. Good. Then let's use this gap to begin our strategy meeting. Meanwhile, Neres also woke up and dressed herself up. This should be enough. Maybe I should dress up a bit more elaborately. I haven't dressed myself up in a long time. I don't know if this is appropriate. Emma was originally supposed to be my maid, accompanying me to the ducal estate. But when my sister Catherine appeared at the ducal estate, she immediately ran to her side, leaving me high and dry. I'm speechless. Then again, Emma was also my sister's maid back home. So it's understandable that she went to my sister. No, I shouldn't think about these negative things anymore. I'm about to see my sister. I need to pull myself together. Maybe I should first imagine how my sister will act. Suddenly, a scream rang out. It was followed by the sound of something falling. Ouch, that hurts. I bumped into something, a voice said. That. Neres was also startled. Are you all right? I'm sorry, Mississippi. I wasn't looking and accidentally bumped into you. Why are you apologizing? You're the one who fell, not me. Neres looked worried. Did you hit anywhere else? Does your bottom hurt a lot? Can you try to stand up? I'm really fine. Hearing her say that, Neres finally breathed a sigh of relief. That's good. I'm really sorry, Neres said as she picked up the things on the floor. I was just lost in my own thoughts, so I wasn't paying attention to my surroundings. Miss, I can do this. Please don't trouble yourself. It's fine. After all, you fell because of me. Besides, two people are more efficient, right? Let's pick them up together. Thank you, Mississippi Few, it's nothing. But it looks like there's a lot of laundry. Isn't it heavy for you to carry alone? This is nothing. I usually carry things much heavier than this. Really? Like what? Sometimes I have to move heavy food ingredients in the kitchen. Occasionally, I also have to move indoor furniture by myself. So, this weight is nothing to me. You're really amazing. Neres admired her from the bottom of her heart. Are all the maids as strong as you? I'm probably an exception. Thank you for your help, Mississippi. Again, I apologize for startling you just now. I'm the one who should be apologizing. Well then, be careful. As soon as she entered the dining room, she heard Catherine's displeased voice. Neres, you're late again today. Since we had an agreement yesterday, you should have been on time. How could you make your sister wait for you like this? In high society, punctuality is very important. So please, make sure to be on time next time, sister. Where did you find this jewelry and these clothes? I've never seen them before, Neres asked with a frown. This? Catherine waved her hand. The ducal estate prepared them. During wartime, how could I possibly move around dragging a pile of luggage? Considering that I used a teleportation magic circle to come here alone. They prepared these for me. Because I'm an honored guest, they let me use them as I please. They're really kind, right? While saying things like that, she shows up dressed like this. Neres thought to herself. Her words and actions don't match at all. Dressed so lavishly. It's a stark contrast to what she just said. Isn't it too contradictory, Sister Catherine? Has she really lost her mind? Seeing Neres staring at her, Catherine asked with some displeasure. Is there something on my face, Neres? It's nothing, sister, Neres said quickly. Staring at someone's face is very rude behavior. Catherine started lecturing again. If you make a mistake again, you should politely apologize to the other person. Otherwise, your good reputation in high society will be ruined in an instant. It's really worrying. You don't even know such basic etiquette, and you're talking about going to the Northern Academy to study. When you choose an academy later, you must be more careful. Don't be fickle and change your mind again. Hearing these words, Neres understood. So the etiquette lesson was just a pretext. She invited me to eat with her just to mock me and make me look like a fool. It seems my sister hasn't changed at all. but I'm no longer the person I used to be. I will never be bullied by my sister like a fool again. Sister, Neres began, I appreciate your good intentions, but you don't need to worry about me. It is precisely to make up for my own shortcomings that I've decided to go to the Northern Academy to study. Just as I mentioned yesterday, the Northern Academy indeed has many very practical subjects. It's a place that's truly suitable for me, isn't it? If you think so, that's great, Catherine sneered. But are you sure there's a subject suitable for you? Yes, Neres replied. I'm preparing to take the entrance exam for the accounting department. When it comes to mathematics, I'm very confident, you know. Miss Neres, you're good at mathematics? Norman asked curiously. Yes, Neres said. I studied hard on my own at home by reading various theoretical books. You are truly admirable, Norman praised. It seems I must tell you this. Our Duke always gives selfless and generous support to talented people. Support for talented people? Neres was pleasantly surprised. Yes, His Grace, for the prosperity of the domain, is always striving to find and cultivate talent. Those outstanding talents who receive the Duke's support are fully demonstrating their abilities as officials of the ducal family in the North. So please, be sure to take this into consideration. Generous support. That's right, this is it. This is exactly what Neres wanted. Sister, I have to go now, Neres said, getting up. What? Catherine was caught off guard by this. Wait, we haven't even started eating yet. Catherine also stood up. I suddenly have something urgent to attend to, Neres said. Please enjoy all the food today by yourself. Norman, thank you for letting me know, Neres said with delight. I will support you, Miss Neres. Meanwhile, it is said that the army of the Western Kingdom has started to move again. We have no time to hesitate. We must strike first. That's right. Now is when they are at their weakest. It's the perfect time for us to attack. How do we propose to turn the tables? Ian asked in a cold voice. We don't even have supplies right now. The after effects of the last battle have not yet dissipated. Our mages have not fully recovered. With nothing at our disposal, how are we supposed to attack? Tell me. Then, Adjutant, when will the supplies be replenished? It will be done in 2 more days. In the meantime, we will intensify surveillance on the enemy, immediately summon the knights, and begin combat training. We must be ready to fight at any moment. Sigh, what an impatient bunch. Hartman complained. Ever since the last victory, everyone seems to have become a bit impatient. I know it's tough, Ian said after hearing him. The war is lasting longer than we expected. This is unavoidable. Most of them haven't been home in a long time. That's true. But are you going to be alone in your tent again today? I have some things to take care of. Aren't you spending too much time alone? Every night, I have to fend off the military doctors and commanders for you. Have you ever considered my feelings? Hartman said. Of course. Ian laughed. Thanks to my capable adjutant, I can be alone in peace. I've always been grateful to you. You're just a smooth talker. Is the engagement going smoothly? Hartman asked. I heard that family's young lady is very famous in the capital. You've met, haven't you? What's she like? What's she like? Ian repeated the question in his mind. Because I always meet her when she's asleep, I'm not really sure what kind of person she is. What is she like when she's awake? Will she be like she is when she's sleeping? Clever yet elusive? If not, then, thinking of this, Ian couldn't help but smile. She's like the vast sky. What? Hartman asked, confused. A person like the sky. Just like the sky. Completely unpredictable, Ian said. A person with eyes as blue as the sky. And at this moment, Neres, for the future of magic in this country, I applied to this academy. All right, the application form should be fine like this. Why didn't I find out about this before? The Duke's generous support. If I can get His Grace the Duke to recognize me as a talented person, I can enter the academy on my own merit. If I can get sponsored like this and graduate from the academy with excellent grades, perhaps I can become an official for the Dayfried family in the North. This is an opportunity. Thinking of this, Neres suddenly froze. Wait a minute. If I become a Northern official, that means I'll have to run into my sister Catherine, who will have become the Duchess. From the beginning, I had no interest in this engagement. My sister has always wanted to be the Duchess. But will my sister show me any mercy then? She will definitely still bully me then. Ugh, whatever. I'll think about it when the time comes. Miss Neres, excuse me. Would you be willing to talk with me for a moment? A voice came from outside the door. Yes. Please wait a moment, Neres replied. Is something the matter, Norman? Neres asked, opening the door. Miss Neres. Norman smiled. I've come to show you to your new room. Wow. Looking at the new room, Neres couldn't help but exclaim. This room is unbelievably luxurious. It's even warmer than the previous room. Did they use heat-retaining magic stones on the furniture? If not, is it to your liking? Norman asked. Neres expressed. I like it very much. Thank you so much for arranging such a wonderful room for me. But Norman, why change my room? The previous room was also great. My apologies. We discovered that the original room had some issues with heating. To make up for my previous mistake and the inconvenience it caused you, I will do my utmost to compensate you. That is why I have moved you to a better room. I hope you will be comfortable here. I didn't feel any discomfort, so you don't need to worry too much. Norman, I'm so grateful that you say that, Mr. Butler. Lunch is ready. Please come in, Miss Neres. I have someone I'd like to introduce to you, Norman said. Neres said in surprise. You're the person from the laundry last time. Allow me to formally greet you. Miss, my name is Jenny. Starting today, I have been assigned as your personal maid. Oh my, I'm so happy, Jenny. Neres got up and went over to her. Jenny also expressed, I'm also very happy to become your maid, Mississippi. It seems you two are already acquainted. Norman asked. Neres explained. Actually, it was because of my carelessness that Jenny almost got hurt. Miss, please don't say that. Strictly speaking, it was my fault. No, it was truly my fault. Haha, so that's what happened, Norman said. Jenny, it's time to prepare the meal. All right, Mr. Butler, but what is that door for? Neres asked curiously. Norman explained that it was just a decorative door. This door has been here since the ducal mansion was first built. It has always existed, so it's a decorative door, Neres thought to herself. This place is truly full of surprises. That night, Ian looked at a book and muttered, for sleepwalkers, we should not wake them. It's best to let them sleep peacefully. We've already interacted many times. It seems I did something I shouldn't have. Soon, that familiar sound came again. Ian put down his book, walked over, and opened the door. As soon as the door opened, Neres fell forward. Are you very anxious, Neres? Ian asked with a smile. The next day, Neres woke up completely unaware of what she had done the previous night. She went to the library with Jenny and couldn't help but exclaim in amazement. Jenny, can I really use such a magnificent library? Of course, Jenny's tone was full of pride. To ensure that guests can use it at any time, His Grace the Duke has ordered the library to be open to guests at all times. So you don't need to worry at all. Please use it to your heart's content. It seems the people here are truly sincere towards their guests, Neres thought. Because there was a problem with my previous room, not only did they move me to a better room, but they also prepared a personal maid and a new dress for me. This is the first time in my life I've received such hospitality. This place treats its guests with such sincerity. Perhaps this shows that His Grace the Duke also possesses a noble character. He's truly a remarkable person. As a guest of the ducal mansion, I would like to personally express my gratitude. Jenny, it will probably be some time before His Grace the Duke returns, right? Neres asked. Jenny suddenly flinched, then said, That's right. That's right. The current war situation with the Western Kingdom is not ideal. It's said that another battle will break out soon. It seems the outcome of that battle will determine when they can return home. As the two were talking, they were interrupted by Emma, who had just arrived. Excuse me, Miss Neres. What is it, Emma? Neres asked. Emma said, Miss Catherine invites you to have afternoon tea with her. As soon as she arrived, Neres heard Catherine's scolding voice again. I feel so embarrassed because of you. You just left like that yesterday. What was so urgent that you couldn't even see your own sister? From now on, we sisters must have breakfast together. We need to show the people of the ducal mansion a harmonious image. Isn't this beneficial for both of us? A harmonious image, Neres thought. Yes, our family always gathers for harmonious meals, with only me being excluded. Whenever I ate with my family, I always suffered their neglect and contempt. I always had to eat alone in my room. Because of that, I once thought I was adopted. All right, Neres said. We'll do as you say, sister. Let's have breakfast together every day. Hearing this, Catherine was very satisfied. Good, that's how it should be. If that's all, may I leave now? Neres asked. I'm very busy right now, so I need to leave quickly. It seems I'll have to give you your gift right away. After Catherine finished speaking, Emma came forward with something. Is this tea? Neres asked. It's a tea that helps with deep sleep. Catherine explained. I was worried you weren't sleeping well at night, so I specially prepared this for you. What are you talking about? I sleep very well at night, Neres said, confused. You have a sleepwalking problem, don't you? Catherine smiled sinisterly. 2 years ago, Father said you had a sleepwalking problem, but he said you were cured, right, Neres? That was just a white lie. Father only said that to put your mind at ease. Your illness was never cured at all. Let me think. The first time you were plagued by that ghost-like illness. I remember now. Back then, You are also wearing a cute dress, just like today. 7 years ago, on Neres' 13th birthday. Heartfelt birthday wishes to Miss Tapana. Congratulations on your birth. I never expected the Earl Tapana family to have such a beautiful second daughter. Yes, you and this cute dress you're wearing today are a perfect match. You are truly very lovely, Miss Tapana. How can even someone like that be called Miss Tapana? Not only that, but she dares to laugh so freely in front of me. How should I teach this ungrateful brat a lesson? This will be enough. Neres, come and say hello to your sister's friends. Yes, sister. Hello. It's a pleasure to meet you all. I am Neres Tapana. Thank you for coming today. Before she could finish speaking, Neres was tripped by Catherine, knocking over and shattering all the wine glasses on the table. Oh my goodness. Neres, are you all right? Catherine asked with false concern. You should be more careful. Why were you in such a hurry? The Countess said with displeasure. That, looking at the people surrounding her. Neres stammered. Are you all right, Miss Tapana? Oh dear, what should we do? Your dress is completely stained. Some mocking laughter soon followed. But you're covered in cherry juice. I don't really want to help you up. The Earl Tapana family really showed us an interesting scene. What a disgrace. This was a birthday banquet we carefully planned for you, yet you've brought shame upon the family. How much more do you want to disappoint me? Mother. That night, a maid discovered a sleepwalking Neres. Oh my goodness. Miss Neres, it's so late. What are you doing here? Why are you banging your head against the wall? Miss, can you hear me? Miss Neres. From that night on, you started wandering around the house in your sleep, Catherine said. After father learned of this, he did everything he could to treat your sleepwalking. But Emma, what did you say you saw earlier? Emma said, just a few months ago, I saw Miss Neres walking around in the middle of the night with my own eyes. Did you hear that? Catherine said, therefore, you must drink this tea every night before bed. In the ducal mansion, if you violate the nighttime rules, wouldn't that cause trouble for people? Neres began to tremble all over again. If that's true, then for the past few nights, I might have been wandering around the ducal mansion. In that case, the people of the ducal mansion must have seen me like that. Naturally, they would also report it to His Grace the Duke. If that's the case, forget about becoming an official in the north. I won't even be able to set foot in the academy. I have to confirm whether what my sister said is true. I must immediately confirm if my sleepwalking has been cured. The next day, Catherine couldn't help but remark, this glass greenhouse is truly remarkable. I didn't expect to see such beautiful daffodils in autumn. The daffodils are so famous, even in the capital. They truly live up to their reputation. Perhaps it's because I didn't see Neres this morning. I feel this place has become even more special. It's just speechless. Stupid thing. How dare she be so arrogant outside? Scaring her with the sleepwalking story was indeed the right move. If she acts presumptuously again, I'll have to teach her a good lesson. I'll make her understand that no matter how much she struggles, she can't escape from the palm of my hand. Did you call for me, Miss Tapana? Norman asked. Thank you for making time to come. Mr. Butler, Catherine said. I heard you had some questions for me. Yes, I hope you can tell me something very important. In this castle, there's a private teleportation magic circle for the Duke, isn't there? Catherine asked. 4 high-ranking nobles or wealthy people in the capital, in each of their residences. There is usually a teleportation magic circle. My fiancé, the Duke, must have one too. In that case, the Duke must be secretly returning to this ducal mansion, right? I implore you to tell me, esteemed butler. I am so worried about the Duke that I cannot sleep at night. Or, when he uses the teleportation magic circle to return again, please be sure to inform me. In my past life, I was convinced the Duke would fall in the war. The person who gave me this information was my lover at the time, Prince Theophilus. Although our time together was brief, the information Theo provided was always accurate. I had no choice but to believe it. However, not only did the Duke not die, but he returned triumphantly as a war hero. So I've been wondering what exactly happened. It turns out it was because of the private teleportation magic circle. The reason he survived was that he used that magic circle to return to the ducal mansion for treatment. Such a simple fact, and I'm only just realizing it now. I'm such a fool. I'm very sorry, Miss Tapana, Norman said. We are currently at war. All information regarding His Grace and the ducal mansion is top secret. Therefore, please refrain from asking further. Catherine was stunned, not expecting Norman to refuse so bluntly. Then I will take my leave. Norman did not linger and turned to go. Wait a moment, Catherine shouted, her heart filled with indignation. Hey, why can't you tell me? I'm the Duke's fiancé. I have every right to know his whereabouts. But why must it be kept secret even from me? It is most regrettable, Norman said mercilessly. Currently, His Grace's official fiancé is the one who signed the engagement contract, Miss Neres Tapana. You are merely a guest of His Grace the Duke. Neres is the official fiancé. Catherine froze. You apologize for the error in the engagement contract on the first day, and I fully understand that, Norman continued. However, only His Grace has the authority to handle the matter of the engagement agreement. Therefore, we sincerely hope for His Grace's safe return. But until then, please wait patiently. During this time, I will serve you with all my heart. On the other side, seeing a very anxious Neres, Jenny couldn't help but ask, Miss, did something happen between you and your sister yesterday? Neres was stunned. You couldn't sleep at night and have been worried, right? You didn't go to the library either. Is something troubling you? What should I do? Neres was extremely anxious. Should I ask Jenny first? No, Jenny probably doesn't know the secret about my sleepwalking. Otherwise, it would be just like that time. Miss Neres, it's Norman. Norman's voice came from outside the door. Come in. Norman, excuse me for interrupting. Jenny, I have something I need you to do. What is it? Go to the village and buy the ingredients written on this list. Yes, I understand, Mississippi. I'll be out for a little while, and we'll be back soon. Be careful. Come back soon. All right. I heard you wanted to speak with me alone, so I sent Jenny out to run an errand for me, Norman said understandingly. I had a feeling, Miss Neres, that you were going to tell me something important. As expected of the ducal mansion's butler. Truly remarkable, Neres thought. Not only did he see through my thoughts at a glance, but he also takes such good care of me. If it's Mr. Butler, it should be all right to tell him my secret, right? Actually, I have a sleepwalking problem, Neres began. When I was 13, it first started. I tried all sorts of treatments, but none of them had any effect. For a long time, this illness plagued me. Then, when I was 18, the sleepwalking miraculously disappeared. At that time, maids took turns keeping watch in my room every night. They observed me for several months, and I always slept peacefully in my bed. So I told my father that my sleepwalking was cured. But just yesterday, my sister told me that was all a lie. Although I don't completely believe my sister, if it is the truth, then I might have violated the rule here about not going out at night. I'm worried that this might cause trouble for everyone. That's what I'm most worried about. Thank you very much for telling me, dear Miss Neres, Norman said. But please don't worry too much. We just need to check the image sphere to resolve your issue. An image sphere? Neres asked. Norman explained, this ducal mansion is equipped with a system specifically for detecting intruders. For this purpose, several security magical devices have been installed. When these devices detect movement at night, they transmit the footage to a connected image sphere. If you can help me keep this a secret, I will give you an image sphere. So, Miss Neres, please feel free to check on your condition without worry. Thank you so much, Norman. 1 month later. If this continues, our entire army will be annihilated. Retreat immediately. The guys from the Western Kingdom are fleeing. Continue the pursuit. Don't let them escape. Hartman realized something was wrong and shouted, Commander, watch out, Ian. Raise your sword. Hurry and raise your sword. Ian, don't feel burdened by such a small thing. To suppress the immense source of magic within you, you must work harder than you are now to hone your physical strength and willpower. Come on, adjust your stance again. Ian, don't blame your father too much. The reason he does this is so that you can live a peaceful life. Mages born into the Dayfried family have power that is too great. They have long been envied by the royal family and the capital's noble houses, and this situation continues to this day. So you must hide your identity as a mage. You can only use magic when you need to protect yourself. This is the only way to avoid innocent deaths. Can you do that, Ian? I understand. Mother, I promise you, no matter what happens, I will keep this secret, the fact that I am a mage. It must be kept secret. Ian woke up in a cold sweat. A concerned voice reached his ears. Your Grace, are you all right? Norman, you're finally awake. That's wonderful. How'd I get here? Ian asked. Norman explained, you collapsed in the teleportation magic circle room. We have treated you and moved you to the bedroom. Lord Hartman sent an urgent telegram explaining the current situation in detail. Your Grace was attacked by a mage from the Western Kingdom. After winning the battle, you immediately returned to camp and teleported. Indeed, Ian sat up and patted his forehead. I let my guard down for a moment and got attacked. Hartman is probably having a hard time shooing away the army doctor right now. Your Grace, this is no laughing matter, Norman said gravely. Wounds caused by magic not only take a very long time to heal, but you may also experience a high fever. So please remain calm. My fiancée, is she doing well? Ian asked. About that, Norman teased. Didn't you say before that you wouldn't pay too much mind to this engagement? So I'm not sure which one you're referring to. Please rest well, Your Grace. After Norman left, Ian lay back down on the bed. You probably won't come today, will you? It's been a while. I was wondering if we could meet. I miss you, Neres. Meanwhile, Neres has changed rooms. Catherine asked. Yes, Emma replied. She seems to have moved to a bigger, more luxurious room, but I don't know the specific reason. When did she move? Catherine said, displeased. I'm not too sure about that. Emma said, truthfully. That's enough. You may leave. Yes, Mississippi, honestly. These people are completely useless. Catherine was filled with rage. Emma is so useless, and that butler is always getting in the way. If only the issue with the engagement contract could be resolved. When will this finally be settled? Under normal circumstances, a wedding is held 1 year after the engagement. But during wartime, to ensure there is an heir, the marriage vows are signed immediately. But in my past life, it seems Neres got married much later. Damn it, I don't remember the exact time. Back then, Father was always gloating, hoping the Duke would die soon. I deliberately avoided paying attention to any matters concerning the North. He sold both me and Neres for that bit of money, and he still dares to throw a tantrum. After all, Father has already lost money in his business. What more can I expect? Never mind. Even if I know nothing about the North, I'm still the best candidate to become the Duchess. That has never changed. Since ancient times, the North has maintained a certain distance from the capital, both geographically and psychologically. So, there's been almost no cultural exchange between the two. If someone like me, who has close ties with the capital's nobility, becomes the Duchess, then the North will no longer be isolated. The Duke of Dayfried couldn't possibly be unaware of this. So when the Duke returns, he will definitely choose me to be his wife. But I feel like something is missing. I need something that can attract the Duke's attention. Perhaps there's something in my past life's memories that can help. Catherine suddenly remembered. The Dayfried family used to be in the magic crystal business. As the war neared its end, the North used magic crystals to launch a marvelous new business. At that time, the capital was in an uproar, and people began to reevaluate the North. It seems I have to get a head start and launch this business myself. If I can make this business a success and then present it to the Duke, you, who strive for the North, are the perfect choice for my legal wife. Why am I only remembering such an important thing now? This time, I must write down all my memories in a notebook and organize them properly. Let's see. There's about a year left until the end of the war. Before that, I need to successfully launch the business and completely solve the Neres problem. I've kept her in check with the sleepwalking story, so we haven't seen each other for a month. But she shows no intention of going home. Indeed, she naturally wouldn't want to return to that superficially glamorous family, to parents like that. If she's staying here just because she doesn't want to go home, then wouldn't providing her with a new place solve the problem? Then I can give her this reward now. The next day, did you see anything happen last night, Miss Neres? Norman asked. No, Neres said with a smile. I didn't see anything. It seems the sleepwalking story was false. Norman was also happy for her. That's wonderful. Norman, thank you for letting me use the image sphere for the past month. Neres said sincerely. Miss, Jenny hesitated. Miss Catherine invites you to have breakfast with her. Upon arriving at the dining room, Catherine got straight to the point. What kind of man do you like? A steady man with a good physique? Or a delicate and considerate man? Or perhaps a slender, beautiful boy? Tell me, my dear sister. Tell me, Neres, what kind of man do you like? Why are you suddenly asking me this? Neres said, confused. Haha, Catherine laughed. You've reached the age for romance, but you have no experience. I'm worried you're a poor judge of character. Neres fidgeted, but she felt Catherine had a point. An ideal type? My ideal type is a mage. Neres said, my ideal type is a mage. If he's a mage, once a new magical idea appears in his mind, he would better understand the gap between practical application and theory, right? Then we could start experimenting right away and exchange opinions with each other. It would be so wonderful to have a mage by my side. Catherine got a headache listening to this and cut her off. Wait a minute, Neres. For that reason, finding a mage friend would be enough, wouldn't it? An ideal type is a member of the opposite sex who can spark your romantic desires, not someone to satisfy your intellectual curiosity. Understand? I understand, Neres said. What about looks? What type do you like? Catherine continued to ask. That, Neres said after thinking for a moment. I don't have any requirements for looks. Neres, Catherine said, suppressing her anger. A man's looks are extremely important. You must consider it carefully, you know? I haven't really thought about that issue. Even though Neres said this, Catherine still had no intention of giving up. You've attended a few social gatherings with me. Use those as examples. Try to imagine. Then a handsome, sparkling man. Neres said. Catherine was speechless after hearing this. That's far too generic. Think again. Answer seriously. But, sister, Neres scratched her head. Just like why I came to love magic studies. The reason isn't special. When I was deeply troubled by sleepwalking, I happened to find a book in the mansion study. A theory of magic studies written by an anonymous mage. Although it was covered in dust, it shimmered with light. I was deeply drawn to that shimmering light and couldn't look away. Since then, I've been fascinated by magic studies. So my ideal type is a handsome and sparkling man. After returning to her room, Neres collapsed on the bed. Ugh, it's been a while since my sister tormented me like this. I'm exhausted. What's gotten into her all of a sudden? All day long, she's been talking about romance with men. What about a man who is handsome and reliable when he smiles? When in love, you can't just be passive. Even for a kiss, you have to take the initiative. What's this about kissing? I don't even have anyone I like right now. Where would I do something like that? I really don't understand what my sister is thinking. What's going on? This soft touch. Who is beside me? Eyes sparkling like rubies. A handsome face. Such a familiar feeling. It's the book on magic studies. It's actually turned into a person. This is wonderful, Neres smiled. To see you, my favorite thing in the world, appear beside me. This is truly wonderful. I'm happy to hear you say that. Neres was too sleepy, but it would be a shame to fall asleep just like this. Right, well, my sister said, to kiss proactively. After a kiss, Neres said, you must come see me again in the future. I will. The next day, Ian opened his eyes in bed. There was only one name in his mind. Neres. I've been worried. On the nights I wasn't here, were you all right? Fortunately, you returned to your room safely. At one point, I even longed for you to discover me. I must be crazy. If my existence is discovered, it will only put us both in a difficult situation. Your Grace, are you feeling unwell? Norman asked. I'm fine, Ian said as he got up. That's good. Sir Girolamo Boltron arrived today. The Boltrons are one of the collateral branches of the Dayfried family, Norman explained. A Viscount family we haven't contacted in 80 years. He currently serves as a knight in the Royal Knights in the capital. He heard that your Grace was at the forefront of the recent battle. He is both impressed and curious. Therefore, he came specifically to visit and hopes to stay at the ducal estate for a few days during his travels. How should we handle this? Where is he now? He is currently in the library talking with the Topana sisters. No one knows I'm back yet. We have no choice but to receive him, but need to get a good look at that fellow's true colors. Oh, you're my love. A passion burning like fire for you. Girolamo sang with abandon. This serenade is magnificent, Sir Boltron, Catherine praised. Thank you for your praise, Miss Catherine. Girolamo said. What do you think, Neres? Catherine asked, glancing at Neres. Isn't it wonderful? Yes, he sang very well. Neres was still out of it. What on earth is this situation? My sister suddenly appearing in the library was surprising enough. She even brought her knight friend along, and they decided to sing for no reason. Why sing in a library? Well, that lady ended up having an affair after all, Catherine said. But he was always a spontaneous person. I expected it. Oh, that's a very interesting way to put it. Miss Catherine, I am once again captivated by you. You flatter me. You're as humorous as ever. Do you remember how pathetic Baron Lester looked when he fell last time? My goodness, how did that even happen? Listening to their enthusiastic conversation, Neres felt extremely awkward. So she stood up and said, I'll take my leave now. You're leaving so soon? Catherine asked. Yes, Neres nodded. I have some things to attend to. It was a pleasure meeting you. Sir Boltron, I'm truly happy to hear you say that. Then for tonight's banquet, Miss Neres will join us too, right? May I look forward to it? Girolamo asked. No, Neres was about to refuse, but was interrupted by Catherine. Neres, it's more fun with more people. Besides, we haven't had a meal together in a long time. Well, that is... Neres became even more flustered. Just then, Ian, hiding in the shadows, secretly cast a spell. I'll be there. Just as Neres finished saying this, a loud crash was heard. Jenny stood stiffly with her hands outstretched. The books were too heavy. I couldn't hold them steady. I'm so sorry for disturbing you. Jenny, are you all right? Neres quickly shook off Girolamo's hand and strode towards Jenny. That was so loud. You're not hurt, are you? Neres asked with concern. I'm fine, miss. Jenny waved her hand. I see. It seems the maid made a mistake. Girolamo walked over and said, looking at the thickness of these books, they're a bit heavy for a woman. Let me help you. No, it's all right. I can do it myself. Jenny refused, but Girolamo insisted on helping. Helping a lady in distress is a knight's duty. Please don't feel burdened. Seeing his enthusiasm, Jenny couldn't refuse any longer. Then I'll leave it to you. Leave it to me. A small task like this is a piece of cake for me, Girolamo said, but he was quickly proven wrong because the book was incredibly heavy. So heavy, Girolamo gritted his teeth, using all his strength. A deep breath, huff. However, no matter how hard he tried, the book didn't budge an inch. I'll go get someone else. Sir Boltron, please stop trying, Catherine said, full of disdain. No, I can do it. Girolamo was stubborn. Jenny felt something was strange. She glanced up and discovered Ian, who was using magic to cause mischief, looking very pleased with his masterpiece. And the consequence of this was, I clearly told you to rest, didn't I? Norman was exasperated. It was a special situation, Ian said lightly. Stop lying. I heard everything from Jenny. Norman exposed him directly. You used magic to make the book immovable and even caused Sir Boltron to fall because of it. You even used teleportation magic to go to the library, consuming more magical energy. Has your wound gotten worse? Why on earth would you do that? He dared to take my fiancée's hand without permission, and he put her in an awkward situation. Seeing that, how could I just stand by and do nothing? Ian retorted. Hearing this, Norman finally understood. Your Grace, I humbly implore you, please do not overprotect Miss Neres. I am also very happy that you will soon marry Miss Neres, but overprotecting her is not a good thing. Warm sunlight and clear water are good, but one must also be able to withstand wind, rain, and drought to grow into a resilient tree. My fiancée is not that fragile, Ian retorted. I know, Norman continued. Miss Neres does have a strong heart, but it's not yet enough to face the challenges of the North. She needs to have leadership sufficient to command all the nobles of the North. Only someone who can withstand the pressure from both the royal family and the capital can become the lady of the Northern Territory. So please watch over her quietly from a distance and give Miss Neres space to grow. If a dangerous situation arises, I will handle it immediately. Your Grace, please prioritize your health. Hearing Norman say this, Ian finally agreed. Anyway, I can't be discovered right now. Since I'm here, I'll do as you say for now. Is a master all right? Jenny asked anxiously. It's a bit serious, Norman replied. You'll have to restrain yourself a bit in front of his Grace for now. All right, Jenny replied. I understand. But Jenny, what kind of person do you think Miss Neres is? She is a very gentle and considerate person. Indeed, different from the capital nobles we've seen before, right? Very kind and takes good care of us. Quite a few servants like the young miss. But compared to Miss Catherine, she seems a bit too delicate. Although she tries her best in her contests with her sister, she still seems to struggle with it. This worries me a little. That's what I'm most worried about too, Norman agreed. But her strengths far outweigh her shortcomings. And she's indeed a very hardworking person. Have a little more faith. Let's continue to watch her performance. On the other side, didn't you say he was hit by the magic of those guys from the Western Kingdom? Then let us treat him. Why won't you let us treat him? At least tell us the commander's specific condition. Hartman struggled to find the right words. That is, but inwardly he was constantly complaining. Ian, that leisurely fellow, still not. Hurry back. What on earth is he up to? So he quickly wrote a letter to Ian. Given the victory in the last battle, the war will temporarily enter a truce. So, handle everything within a week, then make an appearance. Come back quickly so we can go home. Otherwise, I'll say you're hovering at death's door. Hartman, what Lord Hartman said about hovering at death's door is quite accurate, Norman teased. Stop nagging. Ian said weakly, I'm already reflecting on my actions. Because of the fever, you might have a hard time tonight. So take your medicine and get some good rest, Norman instructed. Is Neres all right? Ian couldn't help but ask. At that moment, Neres was with Catherine and Girolamo. You must be telling a story, Sir Boltron, Catherine laughed. It's true. Look at these solid arm muscles. Isn't that proof? Girolamo said. After that, those ruffians all avoid me now. Honestly, you're so full of confidence. Catherine laughed until tears came to her eyes. Neres, don't you also find Sir Boltron very amusing? Catherine asked. Neres was just speechless, but she forced herself to say, yes, very amusing. I finally understand my sister's intention now. She wants to set me up with Sir Boltron. All that talk about men yesterday was for this too. Although I don't know why my sister is doing this. I must be more careful. I can't let her succeed. This is truly a peculiar and interesting place, Girolamo said. The night rules Miss Catherine told me about are also like that. It seems there's a reason this place is called the Ghost Family. However, I've heard the first Duke had an exceptionally unique personality, so such a situation is naturally understandable. Oh my, Catherine said coquettishly. Are you now trying to scare the fiancé of the Dayfried family? Haha, Girolamo laughed. I didn't mean that. It's just that our two families have a deep connection, so I've heard many stories about this place. When this ducal estate was built, because the first duke was a mage, it said he cast many strange spells. Perhaps among them was a spell to imprison souls in the castle. That's why there is the rule not to wander around at night. So you two must strictly abide by this rule. Otherwise, you might run into something, like the ghost of the first duke. Catherine laughed even more happily. Lord Boltron, please don't make such jokes. I'm sorry, Neres couldn't help but interrupt them. However, the capital noble's ridicule of the Dayfried family is not entirely baseless. So what if I meet him? If I see him, I will express my gratitude. I have read every book he wrote. I will tell him that his books gave me a dream. Are you saying this because you resonate with ghosts? Catherine asked after listening. I understand you have a unique personality, but please stop there. I'm sorry, Boltron. Sir, my sister only knows how to read books and doesn't know how to fit in with the atmosphere. I'm fine, Girolamo said. On the contrary, I was moved by Miss Neres' warm heart. My, Sir Boltron is so tolerant. Their voices sounded very harsh in Neres' ears. Finally, she could no longer hold back and spoke up. Then, sister, you should hurry up and run away. I will not run. I will welcome his arrival. Catherine's expression changed instantly. You're truly speechless. The atmosphere at the dinner table suddenly turned cold. It was so quiet you could hear a pin drop. Ahahaha. Seeing this, Girolamo tried to mediate. Even if there's a ghost, what's so scary? If one really appears, I can take care of it in one move. You two can rest assured. Seeing this, Catherine couldn't get angry anymore and took the opportunity to back down. My sister is just that naive. She's really cute, isn't she? So cute. It makes me want to protect her. Hearing Girolamo's words, Neres stood up abruptly. I appreciate your sentiment, but I must refuse you, Sir Boltron. I already have someone I like, so I don't need Sir Boltron to protect me. I'll take my leave now. I wish you a pleasant evening, Sir Boltron. After Neres left, Girolamo asked with his arms crossed. She's completely different from you. I like her a lot. Why didn't you introduce her to me in the capital? Neres was ill at that time, Catherine said. Ill? Has she recovered now? I'm not too sure about that. You can ask her directly. Your performance in the library was memorable, so I can't guarantee you'll get a response. Huh, a mistake of that level. I can recover from it any time. I've captured the hearts of many ladies in the capital. Girolamo was exceptionally confident. A naive woman like her, I can handle with my eyes closed. As you said, I'll play with her to my heart's content and then bring her back to the capital. You just wait and see. It's great that Girolamo is traveling near the north. He's a perfect match for Neres' strange ideal type. He's the best person to make her feel the bitterness of life. This way, I can get rid of Neres as soon as possible. You must succeed. For the sake of our friendship, understand? Catherine asked. That night, Neres once again came to Ian's room. Neres, did you sleepwalk here again today? What story will she tell this time? Will it be a confession like that time? Ian couldn't help but feel expectant. Will you be the person I like? Neres asked, stroking Ian's face. I told a lie today that I have someone I like, so I hope there can really be someone I like. Can you help me fulfill this wish? Ian felt his heart beating wildly. None of this has any meaning. Anyway, after she wakes up, she won't remember what's happening now. Therefore, all of this is meaningless. There's no need to respond to something without emotion. But all right, Ian said as he kissed Neres' hand. If it's possible, I would like to try being the person you like. Thank you for being willing to be the person I like. Waking up the next day, Neres had a dejected look on her face. Miss, did you not sleep well last night? You don't look well, Jenny asked. I slept well. I just kept dreaming. Neres said, did you have a nightmare? No, it was a very pleasant dream. I dreamed of a book about the theory of magic studies. However, that book transformed into a person and appeared before my eyes. At this point, Neres' face suddenly turned red. Why did I dream of a man? Is it because my sister is always trying to set me up with Sir Boltron? Or is it because I lied about having someone I like? Is that why I had such a dream? Regardless, it feels like I'm being led by the nose by my sister Catherine. I'm so tired of it. Why haven't I made any progress? When I first came to the north, I was determined to change, Neres said dejectedly. But I'm still being led by the nose by my sister. It seems everything is the same as before. It's not like that. Miss, Jenny said. in my opinion. Miss, you've already changed a lot. Although it's slow, you're changing a little every day. So don't be too impatient and don't be discouraged, because the mere fact that you are trying is enough. Neres was deeply moved after hearing this and asked, Jenny, can I call you sister? What? Jenny was truly startled. That's not acceptable. Why? Neres asked, puzzled. Jenny, you're 3 years older than me. I heard that nobles and servants are very close in the north. Although Jenny quickly waved her hands. That's true, but not as close as family. It's just a relationship where we occasionally give advice. Then I'll just think it, Neres said, gently taking Jenny's hand. I won't call you sister. I'll just think of you that way. Is that okay? As long as I just think it, it's fine. The past feelings, the sweet dream, the theory of magic studies, and the very kind people of the North. Since coming to the North, I look forward to every day. It's really great that I came here. However, when she went out, she still saw that annoying face. You are also very beautiful today, Miss Neres. The sky is as clear and blue as your eyes. It's wonderful weather for a walk, Girolamo said. If you'd like, would you care for a private walk with me? The north is indeed colder than the capital, Miss Neres. If you feel cold, you can borrow my coat. I appreciate the thought. Sir Boltron, Neres refused. I quite like the cold air of the north, so I want to walk in this crisp air. Is that so? Sigh. Neres was exasperated. He's pestering me too much. I had no choice but to come. I really shouldn't have done this. Yesterday, I even lied and said I had someone I liked. It seems that wasn't enough to refuse him. This time, I have to refuse more clearly. Miss Neres, do you like the north? Girolamo asked. Yes, I like it. Why do you ask? Neres said, puzzled. Then she heard Girolamo continue. To be honest, Miss Catherine becoming Duke Diafride's fiancée really surprised me. The main reason the capital's nobles ignore this place is the former Duke Diafride. The successive dukes of the north have always been reclusive. They were already on bad terms with the royal family, because the former Duke Diafride was arbitrary and despotic. He was eventually despised by His Majesty the King. To clean up his father's mess, the current Duke charges into the fray on the battlefield. The son suffers because of his foolish father. Duke Ian Diafride is truly a pitiful man. That's strange. Neres stopped walking, right? Girolamo said. The north is strange. Sir Fultron, you are strange, Neres said. Didn't you say yesterday that the two families have a deep relationship? But from what you're saying, it doesn't seem that way. Besides, I clearly said that I like the north. I don't know why you're telling me all this. Girolamo said hurriedly, that's because I'm worried. You don't understand many things. What don't I understand? Neres asked. There are many things you don't understand. Miss Neres has just come of age. You don't seem very used to socializing either. You rarely attend social gatherings, right? That sentence indeed struck a sore spot in Neres' heart. Yes, I had somnambulism as a child. My parents thought it was shameful. Not only did they not let me attend my coming-of-age ceremony, they wouldn't even let me leave the house. But I still studied social etiquette diligently through books. As expected, that alone isn't enough. Seeing Neres fall silent, Girolamo reached out to grab her. Don't worry, I'll tell you everything. Neres was startled and struggled to break free. Let go of me. Miss Neres, I will tell you everything you don't know. Girolamo lifted Neres' chin and said, for your lovely sake. Neres could no longer endure it. She stomped hard on his foot. Arg, my pride. Girolamo cried out in pain. Miss Neres, what are you doing? You were just trying to assault me, weren't you? Neres shouted. Assault? This isn't assault. This is intimate communication. Girolamo tried to explain away. Stop talking nonsense. I said let go of me. I never gave you permission to touch my body. Neres said, but Girolamo grabbed her arm again. That cute little tantrum. It would be a whole different story if you were in my arms. Let go right now. Neres yelled. Just then, a person in a black robe and a mask appeared and knocked Girolamo unconscious with a single punch. Wow, he knocked out a royal knight in one blow. Neres looked at him with admiration. Who on earth is this person? I've never seen him among the Duke's aides, but for some reason, he doesn't feel like a stranger. The capital. Greetings, Your Majesty. After the last battle, what is the situation with the Western Kingdom? Thanks to Duke Diafride's victory, it will likely take a considerable amount of time for the Western Kingdom to launch another battle. Can we just press them? The neutral nations might support the Western Kingdom. That would complicate matters. I see. Then let's observe the situation a while longer. That is all for today. You may leave. Your Majesty, I have something to report. Is it about Theophilus? Yes. Recently, His Highness the Crown Prince has been communicating frequently with Your Majesty's confidants. If this continues, most of the king's faction will side with His Highness the Crown Prince. One arrogant brat, willing to scheme behind my back for the throne, trying to oust his own perfectly fine father. Can such a person truly be considered my son? If you give the order, I will deal with him immediately. No, not yet. For now, let's do as Dayfried said. What is the Duke doing now? Actually, during this time, we've found signs of him using magic circles multiple times. He might be traveling back and forth to the ducal estate at night to handle affairs. Or it could be to treat the injuries he sustained this time. I couldn't get close to his barrier. Therefore, I couldn't get an accurate picture of the situation. If necessary, I can go in and check immediately. No, don't do anything that would alert that boy. Just observe his movements from a distance. But Your Majesty, are you all right? I'll go get your medicine at once. It will pass in a moment. No need to make a fuss. I hope everything begins soon. The North. I am truly sorry, Miss Neres, Norman said. If I had paid more attention to Sir Foltrin, that wouldn't have happened. I never expected someone who is a royal knight would do such a shameless thing. No, Neres said. Norman, it's not your fault. The one at fault is Sir Foltrin. But Norman said, but I failed to prevent such a terrible thing from happening. My negligence is greater. That was something no one could have known, Neres said. Besides, yesterday you knew I was in danger and sent a knight to protect me. Thanks to you arriving in time, Norman, I was unharmed. Thank you for acting so quickly. Norman, I'm really fine. Please don't blame yourself anymore, okay? Thank you. Miss Neres, Norman said sincerely. This is my statement. Please take it, Neres said. A statement? Norman asked, puzzled. Neres explained. I was worried it might cause trouble for everyone later. So I wrote this. If we give this to the royal knights, I'm afraid Sir Foltrin will in the future not dare to act rashly. Don't worry. He already left the ducal estate this morning. What? Really? Actually, yesterday's incident could be seen through the image spheres placed around the ducal estate. That's why we were able to sort out the situation so quickly. We also saved the video separately, Norman said. I told him I would send the recording to the Royal Knights, and he left on his own. Thank you for your constant concern, Miss Neres. I will keep this statement safe. To prevent what happened yesterday from occurring again, we plan to arrange a personal guard for you, Miss Neres. A knight? Neres said in surprise. You're the one from yesterday. Norman introduced him. This is a knight of the Dayfried family. His skills are exceptional. Neres thought he disappeared as soon as Norman arrived yesterday. I was so worried. So he really is a knight of the ducal house. It's so good to see you again. Thank you for your help yesterday, Sir Knight. Neres curtsied. As the second daughter of the house of Count Tapana, I will remember this kindness. My name is Neres Tapana. What is your name, Sir Knight? Why isn't he answering? Seeing the atmosphere turn a little awkward, Norman quickly said, actually, he is undergoing a vow of silence, so he cannot speak. A vow of silence? Neres grew excited. No wonder he has such an extraordinary air about him. So he's undergoing a vow of silence. Just like the ancient mages in the fairy tale books I read as a child. Maybe he admires mages, just like me. As she was thinking, the knight began to write on his hand. Neres was a little puzzled. What is he writing? My name is... Neres struggled to make out the name. Is it Cherry? Neres asked. Then she saw the knight shake his head. Oh no? Then she saw the knight write again. Scholar? Neres asked. The knight nodded again. Seeing this, Neres smiled and said, I'll be in your care for now, Sir Scholar. Back in the room, Ian took off his mask and cursed. I really should have killed that guy. I should have broken his bones before kicking him out. I regret letting that despicable fellow go. Your Grace, please do not use any magic before you return, Norman urged, still worried. When you went to see Miss Neres yesterday, you didn't use magic, did you? If you use magic again, your injuries will heal even more slowly. Don't worry, Ian said. Although it hurts a little, it's recovering quickly. Once I'm fully healed this time, I'm going to start magic manipulation training immediately. Still, this incident was handled quite well, Norman said. Not only did we secure evidence, but Miss Neres also made her position clear. This way, Sir Foltrin won't cause any more trouble. I'm going to give my considerate fiancée a gift, Ian said, to help her forget about this incident. Meanwhile, Miss, would you like to take a stroll in the village near the castle? Jenny asked. A stroll? Neres asked. Yes. Jenny said, you haven't been out since you came to the north. There happens to be a festival going on there. How about going to take your mind off things? All right, Nares said after a thought. I'll tell my sister Catherine. Why? Ginny asked, confused. Isn't sister coming with us? Nares asked, puzzled. No need, Ginny said, a little speechless. You could just go and have fun by yourself, Mississippi. By myself? My sister would never allow it, Nares said, embarrassed. But Ginny replied, you could just sneak out. It's not something you need your sister's permission for in the first place. Nares also felt her own way of thinking was a bit strange. Why do I feel like I must get my sister's permission to go, right? My parents never allowed me to go out alone, so that's why I think this way. Whenever I went out, I always had to be with my sister. But I don't need to anymore. All right, let's go have fun by ourselves, Ginny, Nares said, mustering her courage. But then she heard Ginny say, I can't go. Ginny, what's wrong? Aren't you coming with me? Nares asked. Ginny explained, I have to stay here to stop anyone looking for you, Mississippi. The reliable Sir Shirley will go with you in my place. With Sir Shirley, I feel a little awkward, Nares said, embarrassed. It's all right, Ginny comforted her. You just seem strange, but he's not a bad person. The awkward feeling will naturally disappear after you have some fun. Trust me, have a good time. Mississippi, just as Ginny said, Nares had an exceptionally good time. Sir Scholar, over there. Ginny told me that shop's fig scones are delicious. We have to buy 2 kinds. What kind of scone do you like, Sir Shirley? Nares asked. What is a young lady like? Ian, disguised as the knight Shirley, wrote on his hand. I like them all, Nares replied. But my favorite is the scone. It has a rich, buttery aroma and a crumbly texture. It's the most delicious bread I've had here. Although, that being said, all the bread made at the ducal estate is delicious. I like them all. Then let's buy one of each, Ian wrote. All right, let's buy a lot. Nares laughed. Then she heard people next to them discussing. It's been so long since I've seen fireworks. They prepared a particularly spectacular show this time. It seems they even invited experts from other places. Really? I'm really looking forward to the fireworks. A sense of longing grew in Nares' heart. So she turned and asked, Sir Shirley, are there really fireworks today? Ian nodded. Will they be held? Nares continued to ask. She saw Ian point ahead. Oh, they're over there. I'm so excited. Nares was full of anticipation. Is this your first time seeing fireworks? Ian asked. Yes, Nares replied. Fireworks are forbidden in the capital, so I never had a chance to see them. I always just heard about them from my sister and could only imagine what they were like. To think I can actually see fireworks here. I've always thought the North is a wonderful place. Next customer. The line quickly reached them. Welcome. What would you like? I'll have one of each, please, Nares said. All right, please wait a moment. Don't, Sir Scholar. Seeing him about to pay, Nares was startled and shouted, Sir Scholar, you don't have to pay. I'll pay. But he indicated, I have a lot of money, so much that it's spilling out. So much that it's spilling out? Nares was shocked. Soon, the two had bought the pastries. Looking at the big, full bag, Nares laughed. Ginny will definitely be surprised by this. Thank you for buying them for me, Sir Scholar. I didn't expect her to be so close with Ginny. Ian thought to himself. Well, it's only natural since they see each other every day. They're always talking about all sorts of things. Living together, they would naturally grow close. It's quite enviable. Sir Scholar. Nares' call brought Ian back to his senses. He heard her say in a cheerful tone, let's go check out that place over there this time. The sign says, a shop that invites you into a world of magic. I feel like they'll sell a lot of magic tools or potions, don't you think? Or maybe they have rare magic books. Seeing Ian didn't nod like before, Nares was suddenly a little disappointed. Are you not interested in magic? Nares asked awkwardly. Then, I'm sorry. I thought Sir Shirley was undergoing a vow of silence. I thought you liked magic like me. I got a little carried away because I love magic so much. Seeing this, Ian gently tapped Nares' shoulder, then pointed at the shop. Nares was puzzled. Go in? Really? Is that okay? Nares asked uncertainly. She saw Ian nod very firmly. I like magic too. Ian wrote on his hand. I really like it, so let's go together. That shop, at this time, at the ducal estate. What did you just say? Catherine said, displeased. Why can't I see my sister? Say it again. Miss Nares is very ill right now, Ginny said. That's why I, her older sister, need to go see how she is. Catherine's attitude was very firm. Why on earth can't you let me in? Ginny explained. The young lady had a high fever all night. She just barely fell asleep now. In her current state, she cannot see anyone. Please come back another day. Catherine was about to explode with anger. When Insolent made, I was already irritated because Girolamo didn't handle things properly. And now, even a lowly maid dares to anger me. I've heard before that these servants are arrogant because the northern nobles treat them like family. Except for Duke Dayfried. Everyone else is really just as the rumors say. As the future Duchess, I cannot stand by and do nothing. Slap. Catherine stepped forward and slapped Ginny hard across the face. You say that to me one more time, Catherine threatened. Why can't I see my sister? I'm sorry, for Miss Neres' rest. Please come back next time, Ginny repeated. You really don't know your place. Catherine raised her hand again. What are you doing now? Hearing Norman's voice, Catherine froze. Ah, Norman, you've come at the right time. Catherine turned and said, This girl seems to have no manners. From now on, please let me discipline her. I will teach this arrogant maid a good lesson. Norman stepped forward to stand in front of Ginny. He said loudly, Please do not say such absurd things. Even if you are His Grace the Duke's guest, you cannot treat the people here so casually. All the servants here are people trusted by His Grace the Duke. Please refrain from such unreasonable behavior. A mere commoner dares to shout at me, Catherine said, displeased. Yes, I shouted at you. Norman's attitude was also very firm. What? Do you want to slap my face as well? And I'm not a commoner. I hold the title of Baron. Seeing she was in the wrong, Catherine didn't press the issue. She turned and said, Let's just pretend this never happened. If you don't want your beloved Neres to cry. Fine, I will do as you say. Miss Catherine, Norman replied stiffly. Watching Catherine's back, Norman said, It seems we have to make that one leave. We can't, Ginny objected. If we do that, there's no telling what Miss Catherine might do. But we can't let such a dangerous person continue to stay here, Norman said. If this goes on, what she'll do to you? I'm fine, Uncle. Please, don't say anything about what happened today. The Master and Miss Neres have finally made a good memory together. I don't want them to worry. And you shouldn't worry too much either, Ginny said with conviction. She will soon be crushed under Miss Neres' foot. We'll just wait and see. Meanwhile, oh, the two of you have finally arrived. Welcome. What do you mean, finally? Neres was full of confusion. My name is Sibylla. I can read the celestial signs and interpret the fate hidden within. Sibylla said, Ah, so not a mage, but a fortune teller, Neres thought. What a shame. I thought she was a mage. That's a magic circle. That magic circle. I've never seen it in a book before. Could it be that magic and astrology are related? The two of you were born with the power to forge your own destiny, Sibylla said with a smile. But, young lady, perhaps because you only read books in your room, I see you have no stamina at all. For the future, please persevere in practicing horseback riding. If you can't manage horseback riding, practicing basic swordsmanship would also be good. Neres' face instantly turned red. How does she know I only read books? Now then, if there's anything you wish to ask me, please feel free, Sibylla continued. If it's a question I can answer, I will answer it for you. A question to ask? I've heard that fortune tellers just give far-fetched answers. They just use business tactics, Neres thought. But for some reason, I feel like this person is trustworthy. Since I'm here, it should be fine to ask a few questions, right? Excuse me, will I be able to settle in the north in the future? Neres asked. I like it here very much. The scenery and the people are all so kind and warm. So I want to live here forever. Can I do it? After a moment of silence, Sibylla suddenly asked, Young lady, what are your thoughts on a white lie? A white lie? Neres asked. Sibylla stated, This is an important question. Please answer seriously. Neres thought hard. A white lie? Come to think of it, my sister once said that my father told a white lie about my somnambulism. She said my father did it to put my mind at ease, but the father I know isn't that kind of person. But if it truly contained good intentions, I think it's okay to lie, Neres answered. At least it's better than malice or ridicule. I see, Sibylla said, then activated a magic sphere. Suddenly, the sound of fireworks was heard outside. Ian thought to himself, Oh no, the fireworks have started. If we leave now, we can still see them. But looking at Neres' serious face, I can't bring myself to say it. Sibylla said. Right now, the young lady's goal has not yet been reached. But as long as you have the desire, you will surely be able to achieve it. So do not hesitate. Please pursue your goal bravely. I wish you both the best of luck in the future. After returning to the ducal estate, Neres couldn't help but sigh. That was really fun. Thank you for spending the day with me, Sir Scholar. Thanks to you. I was really happy, but we didn't get to see the fireworks. I'm really sorry. We should have just left the shop then. It's okay, Neres said hurriedly. I heard there will be a fireworks show next year too. We could just watch it then. You don't have to be sorry. Are you planning to still be here next year? Ian continued to ask. Yes, Neres replied. The fortune teller said that as long as you have the desire, you can achieve it. So I'm going to be a little more greedy, because I really want to live in the north. The capital. Pardon the intrusion, Your Highness. What is it? A letter has arrived from Miss Topana. Deliver it this hour? It seems to be an urgent matter. How has father been recently? Everything is fine. Nothing to worry about. And my brothers who went to war? They're still on standby in the war zone to monitor the movements of the Western Kingdom. Do they really plan to come back alive? How can such worthless lives be so tenacious? How ridiculous. Only when the war ends soon can the succession ceremony proceed. When I think of my brothers, I wish the war would be more intense. Only if they all die will father pass the throne to me without hesitation. To protect what is mine, I actually have to deal with my own brothers. From this perspective, could it be that I'm actually very similar to Catherine? How is that matter going? I heard it's almost complete. Practically, yes. The mages just need to run some experiments and make adjustments. It can probably be completed within a week. Who allowed you to waste a week? It must be completed within 3 days. Otherwise, all of your heads will be chopped off. The North, wait a minute. Sir Scholar, slow down a little, Neres said, panting. Can we change the training method? For example, something a little easier. Ian indicated, there is no training simpler than running that can also build stamina. And I've already said this would be tough. But I thought we would learn swordsmanship directly, Neres said. I didn't expect to have to run 10 laps around the training ground. Ian continued to gesture. The foundation of swordsmanship is stamina. In your current physical condition, you could easily get injured learning swordsmanship. So even if it's tough, you must persevere. Then can we rest for a bit? Neres asked. Let's rest for just 5 minutes. Ian gestured. Really? Neres was so excited. We're really resting? You can't go back on your word. Well, look at you, Catherine's voice came. These past few days, you said you were terribly ill and made such a big fuss. Now look at you, so energetic. I guess it was nothing serious after all, was it? Seeing her, Neres' mood instantly soured, but she still asked out of politeness. Sister, what brings you here? I heard you've recovered. As your older sister, I came to check on you, but you weren't in your room. What are you doing out here in broad daylight? Catherine asked. To learn swordsmanship. I'm doing stamina training, Neres said truthfully. Learning from that person? Let me introduce you, sister. This is a knight from the house of Duke Dayfried. His name is Scholar. Before, when I was almost killed by Sir Boltron, he was the one who saved me. He is my benefactor. Neres' words made Catherine very displeased. So was this guy. How dare he mess up my plans? Why is he covering his face so tightly? It's really unsettling. Is he some kind of fugitive? Hey, why don't you introduce yourself? Catherine asked with a smile. Was your tongue cut out? Can't you speak? What do you mean by that, sister? Neres couldn't stand it anymore and shouted. Sir Scholar is undergoing ascetic training, so he cannot speak. Why are you so angry? I was just joking, Catherine said dismissively. But Neres didn't think so. A joke? That wasn't a joke. It was an insult. Please apologize to Sir Scholar immediately. Neres, you seem to really like this man. Catherine's lips curled into a smirk, protecting him like a child. What? Neres said in surprise. No, it's not like that, Neres explained. I'm just concerned about Sir Scholar as a friend. All right, Catherine said impatiently. You're friends, right? Then she looked at Ian and said with ill intent, Sir Scholar, my sister seems to like you a lot. Please be sure to get along well with my sister. I'm sorry. Ian gestured with his hands. I'm a free knight of the ducal house. I'm leaving tomorrow for the west, so I cannot grant this request. Upon learning this news, Neres was a little disappointed. What the hell are you gesturing? Are you joking with me right now? Catherine said, displeased. Oh no, Neres explained. Sir Scholar said he is leaving the ducal estate tomorrow for the west. Is that so? Catherine asked. Neres, you go back first. I want to talk to Sir Scholar alone, Catherine said. What? But Neres wanted to refuse. Sister will definitely bully Sir Scholar. But she saw Ian gesture. It's all right. Go back to your room and rest. I will definitely come to say goodbye before I leave. With that, Neres had no choice but to agree. You must come, Sir Scholar. After Neres left, Catherine spoke. If you're going to the west to see the Duke, then you should go another day. The Duke was attacked by a mage from the Western Kingdom. He is now unconscious, so he probably won't be able to return to the north for a while. How does she know the commander's classified information? Ian wondered. Right now, the only ones who know about my injury are the knights who were present and my adjutant. Hartman is in the capital. At most, only His Majesty the King knows. How did this woman? Catherine smiled and said, don't be surprised. I have good connections. So I exchanged important information with a very reliable informant. But none of that is important. I have a proposal for you. If you like my sister, then take her away. I'll take care of everything else. Don't worry. Ian suppressed the annoyance in his heart. What a crazy woman. Although I heard from Norman before that the Tapana sisters don't get along, for her to actually ask an unidentified man to seduce her own sister, there's no need to deal with her anymore. Thinking this, Ian nodded. At this, Catherine was very satisfied. Go and seduce her properly. I will support you. That night, why hasn't Sir Scholar come yet? Waiting and waiting, Neres felt a little disappointed. He promised he would say goodbye to me before leaving. Could it be that Sister Catherine said something rude to Sir Scholar? So he thought that I, as her sister, was the same and just left? Or did Sister say bad things about me? I really shouldn't have let them be alone together. Just as she was muttering, she heard a knock on the door. Ah, Jenny, come in quickly. Jenny, could it be that Sir Scholar has already... When she saw the person at the door, clearly, Neres was a little excited. Sir Scholar, I'm sorry for coming so late. Ian gestured. Oh, no, not at all, Neres said quickly. I'm very happy to be able to say goodbye to you like this. Are you going to the West tomorrow? Ian nodded. I see. Please take care, Neres said, a little disappointed. I will keep up with my running, because this is what Sir Scholar told me to do. So when you return to the ducal estate, can you teach me swordsmanship? Neres asked expectantly. And we have to watch the fireworks together too. Okay. As she spoke, she saw Ian extend his little finger. Neres blushed and said, Is this to make a promise with me? Ian nodded, indicating, I will definitely come back to teach you swordsmanship, and we will watch the fireworks together. I promise you. Not long after, Ian transferred to the battlefield through a magic circle. Seriously, Hartman complained. What's with that gloomy mask of yours? How long were you planning to hide out in your own house? I put up a soundproofing spell, so tell me the truth. If I hadn't sent an urgent report, you weren't planning on coming back at all, were you? Ian took off his mask and said, My injuries were quite severe, but thanks to my capable adjutant, I feel much better. I'm really grateful to you. I didn't think it was that serious. If I'm to make a full recovery, it might still take some time. More importantly, I've discovered that someone is spreading news of my injuries. Ian continued. What? So soon? Hartman said in shock. Although I expected it, I didn't expect it to have already reached the north. The north isn't the problem, Ian said. Rather, it will soon reach the capital.